All right, Bart from Bicycle Ride YouTube talking about cross-country bikes. You guys know I'm a cross-country fanatic, and a lot of my videos lately have been about cross-country bikes. This is Trek's aluminum Procaliber. This is the Procaliber 6. Do you know what the color red is on this one? I don't know. It's a cool red. It's like a
Viper red and crimson.
Viper red and crimson. So Viper red, crimson, and black. I think that this is a super sharp bike and a good value right now. This bike's under 2 grand, so we are pre-tariff. Well, no, the tariffs just hit. So this bike was like $1,850. Price might change because of tariffs, but this is a great value for a sure enough cross-country bike. And I always like to say cross-country race bike, because when I'm saying cross-country, these bikes can handle the race. That's what they're for. And you know, it does allow riders to ride faster with less effort. Now, cross-country bikes also have a little bit more of a race geometry to them. So, you know, in Trek's lineup and their you know, hardtail lineup, there's the like, here's one right here. We've got the Marlin, which is an all-around great cross-country bike, and of course comes in multiple levels. We've got the Roscoe right there, which is a, you know, kind of a rowdy trail bike.
That one's the Marlin 7.
That's the Marlin 7.
Yeah.
And then when it comes to their cross-country bike, you know, of course you can get this in a carbon version as well. But in the aluminum version, for under $2,000, you got a bike that out of the box, you can go enter in a local cross-country race. Or if you're riding with your fast group, you just bought yourself some speed. Let me go over some of the high points of this bike, and I'll start with what's going to touch the ground is these St. Anne tires. These are the same tires I have on my new Super Caliber, and they're light, they're grippy, they're fast. I haven't looked at them at the rolling resistance charts, but I tell you what, there are some amazing tires. I mean, I really like that. So they're spec'd with a high-end tire. Touch points, you know, aluminum bar, aluminum stem, you know, good grips. You know, that type of seat. You got a Trek Burst saddle, and then you also have the, you know, dropper post on this thing to start with. So, you know, the touch points, of course, you know, Trek just comes with these nylon pedals. That's standard in the bicycle industry because I figured you're going to change that pedal out to what you want. But it's good enough for a test ride, good enough for riding around the neighborhood, good to throw in your tool bag if you're, you know, visiting a city and you just want to use this as kind of an urban style bike. But, it's got their platinum alpha aluminum tubing, so it's a lightweight but robust aluminum tube to keep the price down compared to their carbon models, and it is a modern race geometry. So cross-country racing has turned, you know, it's a little bit different. I've been cross-country racing for 30 plus years. Used to have these long tracks in the woods that were kind of natural. Now, you know, a lot of it's machine and a lot of it's a little bit shorter course, multiple laps, but that way the spectators get to see the racers a whole lot more. I mean, I remember my family used to come out here to watch me race, and I'd go in the woods and I wouldn't be back for an hour, you know. And that's sometimes not the most spectator sport. If you look at UCI cross-country racing, I mean, there's jumps and obstacles and stuff that they're building into these courses that do make the bikes need a different geometry than we had when we're just racing natural trail systems through the trail. So this is a modern race geometry. That means you're raking trails a little bit further out. Your seat post angle is a little bit steeper, and just in general, it's faster. We used to have our forks pointed pretty much right under our headset, right here, the head tube, and they were twitchy, and we thought that was what we wanted back in the 80s and 90s. They're finding out a little bit longer, a little bit slacker, helps the handling, especially if you're pointing this thing downhill a bit. So this thing can handle kind of whatever you want. I'm not going to call it a downhill crusher, but got the RockShox Judy with a solo air spring. Hey, what's up, Jeff? How you doing, man? And MT 200 brakes. There's a 2-piston brake caliper on there. Covey rims, aluminum rims on it.
I guess everything is in
So let me go in here so I can finish this off with. Of course, I try to make these videos as we're, doing business during the day. And we got Jeff's an awesome customer. You guys probably recognize Jeff from some of the videos we do. Jeff's always out there riding bikes with us. But it gets loud in this little. We are in Biloxi Bicycle. It's my little bicycle shop. So I do like on the frame they put this nice chain guard on it, and people are like, man, is that really something you need to talk about? But yeah, because even with the clutch that's built into this XT derailleur, I think it's the 8100 series XT derailleur, you still can get some chain slap under, real rigorous and fast off-road conditions. So I like having a built-in chain guard, something that comes from the factory. And this is one that's a cool looking chain guard, but two, it's robust. That's going to keep your frame from getting scratched up. And I like to be silent and violent. Got a 1051 cassette on the back and a 30-tooth chain ring with plenty of room, so you can put a couple more teeth on there if you wanted to. Shimano crank. It's got a mixture of Dior, smooth shifting Dior shifters and brakes, and this kind of stuff is just robust. It has a 12-speed. It just good stuff. Of course, you can buy full XT stuff or XTR stuff, but then you're not going to be in this price point anymore. So I think Trek really spec'd this bike out to be budget friendly, but also give you performance that you're going to expect from a cross-country race bike. It says Procaliber on there, so when it says Procaliber, you are buying a cross-country race bike and at a budget. This is a very, very solid bike. If I was going to be buying a hardtail cross-country bike in a budget, and I might go and get a chance to go out to Europe this summer, and if so, I might want to do some cross-country racing. I'm going to be on a budget. I might buy something like this just because I could ride it, I could have a blast on it, I could race it, and it's not going to cost me. I remember spending this much money on a set of rims years ago. So you are baking a lot of value into this bike. We're in April. We just finished the Easter weekend, so get ready for tariffs to make bike prices go up. And people are asking me, hey, when a bike price is going to go down? This is the bottom. If you play the stock market, this is as low as bikes can go. And I know I get pushbacks from customers and viewers on that, but really bikes can't go any lower. So just know that this is a good time to buy bikes. And I have a feeling we're going to start coming into scarcity. People talk about the market being flush. But right now there's bikes in containers in the ports that aren't being let in because of the high tariffs. So just know that if you see a lot of bikes in the showroom in a bicycle shop right now, buy while you can. Buy before the prices go up and we start feeling the hit of not being able to buy, Shimano parts as readily, or SRAM parts. Even frame manufacturing, to have frame manufacturing done in the United States, and of course I love to see that, but it's expensive. Right now they can manufacture this stuff overseas and get it to us, less inexpensively than they could if we tried to do this in America. So I'm all into American built products, but I see what people are looking for when they're coming into my bike shop, and they're looking for a good value. Now, the Trek Procaliber is a very good value, so snag one if you can. I'd like to see more people buy cross-country bikes. They're faster. I see a lot of people buy more bike than they need, and then they're struggling on the trail trying to keep up with us. Buy this, and you bought yourself some speed. Some speed on a budget. So. Anyway, Bart from Bicycle Ride YouTube, just a quick review on the Procaliber. I got a customer coming from Diamond Head, Mississippi to pick this up. And it's kind of cool talking to this guy. I said, old cross-country racer. Well, that's me too, so I can say that. About my age, 55, 50s, and did quite a bit of racing back in the day. Life's taken over, and he wants to get back into just riding, but he wants he was a bit bougie. He didn't want just base model stuff. He knew what XT was, and you know, he wanted to try some of the modern geometry stuff. And he's bought himself a cool bike here. I'm looking forward to riding with this guy out on the trail, and he is going to be riding with less effort, going the same speed, because he picked a cross-country bike rather than, you know, a playful trail bike. And not that you can't play on this bike. I mean, play all you want on it, but when it comes down to trying to keep up with the group or trying to keep up with your friends out there on the trail, this bike is just going to be faster. The front fork is 120 millimeters. So 120 is plenty for most cross-country trails, for most trails. Shoot, I remember, you know, we were riding with 70 and 90, and we thought that was a lot. Now, if you put a 150, 160, and you know, we always think bigger is better, but it makes it heavy, it makes it cumbersome, and a lot of times, you know, with 120 millimeters of suspension, that's enough, especially if you know how to ride light. So there it is, Procaliber 6. Trek has done a great job of pricing this bike under $2,000 right now. To me, it's a fantastic value. And I do like the way it looks. It's just like a stealth bike. Super cool with real solid components. Nothing super high end. I think, you know, it's nice seeing XT on the derailleur there, but believe me, it's not full XT stuff. But it's all stuff that works great. You know, I can go take this bike and do a, you know, cross-country race right now and not have to worry about components flailing or having to upgrade things. I mean, this bike's ready to go. I put some different pedals on it, but other than that, ride it as is. Bart from Bike Ride YouTube. Hey, if you like what we do on this channel, you know, like and subscribe. If you've got a local Trek dealer, definitely support your local Trek dealer. If you're on the Mississippi Gulf Coast or anywhere close and you want a Trek dealer that actually goes out, we're going to do a mountain bike ride this weekend. Rides with this community. You know, I like showing face out on the mountain bike trails. So I've got a story about the last ride when I broke my handlebars. So new handlebars came in today. That's for another video. Bart for Bike Ride YouTube. Over and out from now.